Hello, children. So, the grammar topic when we can see here when is a subordinating conjunction. It literally means when and if. So, this is conditional conjunction. If we keep all these points in mind, it will be easy for us to do the exercises ahead. So we have to simply scan all these rules, and especially this rule page, before preparing for the exam. And the conjunction when connects a main clause with the subordinate clause. So what? It connects the main clause with the subordinate clause. Main clause and subordinate clause. A sentence with when is a subordinate clause. Now it connects two sentences. One is main sentence and another is subordinate sentence. And the sentence with when is known as subordinate sentence. The verb in the subordinate clause is placed at the end of the sentence. The when sentence gives a condition. That's why in German it is known as conditional, or specifies a certain time. That is why it is known as temporal. It can come before or after the main clause, but it can't stand on its own. Now let us make a sentence according to the rule being given here. What it is saying? Let us see how. First rule is saying the conjunction when connects a main clause with a subordinate clause, right? A sentence with when is a subordinate clause. Okay. The verb in the subordinate clause is placed at the end of the sentence. The when sentence gives a condition. That is why it is known as conditional, or it specifies a certain time, and it's known as temporal in German. And last is it can come before or after the main clause. Before making our own sentence, we are going to focus on the example given here. Ich hab genug Geld. You see, this is one sentence. How do we know it is one sentence? Because you can see here is a full stop in between these two. So this is sentence 1 and this is sentence 2. One is Ich habe genug Geld. I have enough money. Second sentence is Ich kaufe mir ein iPhone. I buy myself an iPhone. Now these two sentences are independent sentences. Independent, what do I mean by independent? That means both of them make sense. But our task when we learn German is given in exam in this way, that join these two sentences with when. This will be our task. Now what we have to do? Now we have to understand between these two sentences which sentence is dependent upon which sentence. When I have money, then I buy iPhone, or when I have iPhone, then I have money. So you have to understand which condition is dependent on another. So we see When the person has money, then only one can buy iPhone. So in this way, we are supposed to put when on the first sentence. What will happen when we put when? Then verb will go to the end. Which verb? This verb on the second position. This will go to the end, and another sentence verb kaufen will come to the first position. This will go to the end, and full stop will be replaced by comma here. So with comma, these two sentences are joined. Now the sentence with which the when is connected is known as subordinate sentence. What do we say subordinate in German? Subordinate is known as Nebensatz, and main sentence is known as Hauptsatz. Hauptsatz makes sense, subordinate cannot make sense on its own. So now one more example. Here we see how Ich kaufe mir ein iPhone. This is the same sentence. In first case, we can say Nebensatz is in the first position, Hauptsatz is in the second position. Whereas second case, main sentence is brought in the first position and the Hauptsatz is brought in the second position. What is the difference? Here we have verb, comma, verb, comma, verb structure when we put when in the front, whereas when we put Nebensatz in the second position, we don't have verb, comma, verb. Now what is Hauptsatz? Hauptsatz is main clause. You can see here, Hauptsatz is main clause and Nebensatz is subordinate clause. Ich kaufe mir ein iPhone is main clause and wenn ich genug Geld habe, it is Hauptsatz. It is main Nebensatz. You see, when we put when here, then verb goes to the end. So now we are going to do the exercise and understand this rule. I want to give you with my own new sentence, we are going to understand these rules. Let us see how. For example, let us do practice with our own sentences. How? For example, there are two sentences. One is Ich gehe zum Markt. Markt means market. Full stop. This makes sense? Yes. Now the second sentence is Ich kaufe Bonbon. This took me a light. These are two sentences. Now we have to join these with when exam we are asked, join these two sentences with when. We have to now understand with which sentence we should put when. Let us understand the sense of sentence. When the person goes to market, then person buys toffee. This is bonbon means toffee. Thus bonbon. Or when person buys toffee, then he goes to market. Yes, when a person goes to market, then only he or she can buy toffee. So condition, when is a conditional conjunction. Condition is that when the person goes to market. So when will be applied with this one sentence. When ish. So ge will go to the end. Sum marked gear and full stop. This is full stop. It will be replaced by, I will write this with some other color, comma. If it is visible, comma. Comma is very important. And we are going to write another sentence with another color. Now, what will happen here? The second sentence has to be joined. In that case, the verb will come on the front. I will write kaufe ich bonbon. Now you can see here this sentence is joined with this sentence, and we have used when here. And what has happened here? When I use when, verb goes to the end, and the verb of second sentence comes on the front. Now there is one structure made which we will say here, this verb comma verb. This has come to being verb comma verb. Gehen is verb, kaufen is verb, and this is comma. So Nebensatz here is on first position, Hauptsatz second position. I can write it in another way also. How? Hauptsatz या main Satz I write first, for example. This one. Let us write it first. Ich, es tut mir leid, ich kaufe. In that case, there should be no change in the verb. Ich kaufe Bonbon. Ich kaufe Bonbon. Let me erase this first. Ich kaufe Bonbon. Full stop. Now, Nebensatz, a sentence with when, I am putting in the second position. So what I will do? When ich, because whenever you have when on the first position, verb automatically goes to the end. Wenn ich zum Markt gehe. Now, what we see? This is not a verb, comma verb. When we put main sentence in the first position, verb, comma verb, condition does not occur. Whereas when we put Nebensatz in the first sentence, verb, comma verb comes into existence. So what is Nebensatz? Nebensatz means subordinate sentence. Let us understand first of all, what do you mean or what do we mean by subordinate? Subordinate means which is incomplete. Incomplete means which is dependent on other sentence for the complete sense. For example, when ich zum Markt gehe. If I say wenn ich zum Markt gehe, this is incomplete. If I only speak when ich zum Markt gehe and then be quiet, somebody will definitely ask, what then? And another sentence makes it complete. Kaufe ich Bonbon. So, subordinate is this. In German, subordinate is known as Nebensatz. And now what is, I will write here, what is Hauptsatz, which is main clause. Main clause, I'm erasing this because I don't have place here. Or I can make it like this. Yeah. Hauptsatz or main sentence. Main clause means it has complete sense. How? We can see when I give this, ich kaufe Bonbon. Oder we can also write kaufe ich Bonbon. I buy toffee. It makes sense. It is complete. If I say I buy toffee, this itself is a complete sense. It is not dependent upon the another sentence. That's why it's known as Hauptsatz. Hauptsatz. So finally we came to know when is a conditional conjunction. Again, let us go back here on the rule page. When means WHEN, when or if. It is a conditional sentence and it gets added to the subordinate. It gives, whenever it is joined to any sentence, it pushes the verb to the end. A sentence with when is a subordinate clause. A verb in the subordinate clause is placed at the end. When sentence gives condition, that's why known as conditional, or a specific or specifies a certain time, and in German it is known as temporal. It can come before or after the main clause. What can come? Nebensatz. But it can't stand on its own. The when sentence, the Nebensatz or the subordinate sentence cannot stand on its own. It has to remain dependent on the main sentence for the complete sense. That is why it is known as Nebensatz, और neighbor means nearby, अपने पड़ोसी, neighbor sentence के ऊपर depend रहता है. Example is very well given here. We can understand from here only. Wenn ich genug Geld habe, wenn ich genug Geld habe, kaufe ich mir ein Phone. Here in this case, Nebensatz is on first position, Hauptsatz second. And what we see here? We see here something. What is that? That is verb, verb. Look at the second case. What do we look? Here, just took me line. Here, main Satz, yeah, Hauptsatz is on the first position and what? The Nebensatz on the second position. Now, let us write. Here the Hauptsatz is in second and main Nebensatz second. Hauptsatz on the first position and Nebensatz on the second. So what happens here? What is the difference here? There is no, es tut mir leid. There is no verb, verb. Now here are the meanings also given, guys, for you. What are the meanings? Hauptsatz means main clause. Nebensatz means subordinate clause. Depending on the above exercises, we have above rules, we are going to understand the exercises. It's very important, children, to know the vocabulary, the plural and the articles of the exercises. Then only we would be able to understand. And my recommendation to everyone is that please mark all the vocabulary. Be the vocabulary hunters. All the vocabulary, wherever it is, in Get Ready, in Beste Freunde, Kurzbuch als auch Arbeitsbuch. I'm going to underline. Es tut mir leid. Es tut mir wirklich leid. Also, wir gehen zurück. Es tut mir leid. I'm going to highlight the nouns. You have to do same way. Geburtstag, nouns as well as words. Schenken, besuchen, Silberhochzeit, Gedicht, gratulieren. Then Gedicht is coming again. Die Gitarre. Dann wir haben was? Hochzeittag. Zusammen. Immer. Many students even don't know immer also. So I am underlining for everyone. It's not it's actually the for a wholesome approach. I'm underlining all the vocabulary for everyone. Muttertag, many of you know that. Blumenstrauß. Prüfung. Party. Ostersonntag. Eier. Festdecken. What exactly happens when we don't know the vocabulary? It becomes very difficult to understand. Because it's not our mother tongue, it is a foreign language which we say Fremde Sprache. Okay, we have simply to become the word hunters. It's very important to note down the vocabulary as well as articles and plural if you have to understand German further and the grammatic further. Ferien. Wherever you find, you have to underline and note down. I'm very much particular about the vocabulary. Fliegen, although you know, Schnee, langsam, heiraten, then Klassenarbeit, das Kino, everyone knows that, although das Wochenende, die Zeit, Yoga. Yoga is taken from, in fact, English or Hindi. So we don't mind if we don't write article. Die Party. Die Eltern. Wegfahren. Zurückkommen. Then Ferien we have already underlined, and then this is the last line we should be knowing. Guys, this is actually the great problem with the school learners. When they don't know vocabulary, they really land into the problem. So it's very important to know, although you might be thinking what I'm doing, but no, vocabulary is the foremost thing to understand the language. Das Wetter. Because when you don't know vocabulary, articles and plural, you are not able to do grammar, as well as you cannot understand the language further. Neither you can speak. Es regnet. It rains. Die Freizeit. Der Bruder. Die Mutter. Zu Hause means at home. Der Geburtstag. Die Prüfungen. Problem. Probleme. Krank. Ill. Durst. Thirst. So I suppose these exercises are finished. Now very fast, I'm going to give the articles wherever they are required. Nouns are accompanied with the articles always. I'm going to write. Please, you also, everyone, make notes in your copy and learn. Der Geburtstag. Schenken is a verb, that is to gift. We are not going to write article, but we can always derive noun from this verb, which is das Geschenk, that is a gift. Now Gutschein, der Gutschein. This means, I'll give it a black color. Voucher. You understand what is voucher? I'm writing here. So it should be light. This is voucher. Okay. Now besuchen is to visit. Visit. Die Silberhochzeit. Die Hochzeit. So that means silver jubilee. Gratulieren is to congratulate. Das Gedicht, poem. Die Gitarre, the guitar. Das Gedicht again. We need not to write, we have already written. Now I have not underlined this. Mitsingen, to sing along. Immer, always. Der Hochzeittag, wedding day. I will write its article as well. Der. Zusammen is together. Der Muttertag. Now this one. Der Blumenstrauß, bouquet. Bouquet is flower bouquet. Now party article is die Party. Die Prüfung, Prüfung is test. Der Ostersonntag, this is Easter. It is celebrated in Christians. Verstecken, to hide. Das Ei, one egg. And the Eier, eggs. Want to go further? Now, see, there are also many words. Antworte. Antworte. Auf die Fragen. Answer the questions with when. These will be the exercises actually. We haven't done exercises. We'll be taking them tomorrow. But before that, I want to give you vocabulary as well as their plural, so that in the next exercise session you can do these yourselves and understand the concept better. Wann gehst du tanzen? So Bergen, mountains, die Bergen. Plural, mountains, die Ferien, vacations. Although I have not underlined, sorry guys. Going to underline vacations. Okay. Then Berge, mountains, Ferien, vacations. Tanzen is to dance, mitkommen, to come along. Mitkommen, to come along. To come along. Fliegen, to fly. You see, verbs always have en at the ending. Langsam, slow. Opposite is schnell. Schnee is der Schnee. That is snow. Heiraten, to marry. Then we have feel. Feel is much. Then die Klassen, Arbeit, classwork. Das Kino, cinema. Wochenende, weekend. Die Zeit, time. Die Party, die Eltern, wegfahren, to drive away. Zurückkommen, to come back. So we have the last section. Das Wetter means weather. Schön, beautiful. Es regnet, it rains. Die Freizeit, article is die, free time or leisure time. Leisure time. Der Bruder, brother, die Mutter, mother, zu Hause, at home. Der Geburtstag, birthday. Die Prüfungen, tests. Now we have das Problem, die Probleme, problems, krank, sick or ill. Der Durst, that is thirst. So with this, perhaps we have done all the vocabulary, and in the next video we are going to make the sentences together. Till then, have a great day.